You don't want to miss this. So after a lot of downside action, AMD is up a massive 13% this past week after beating earnings. But there's something bigger happening in AMD's chart that you definitely do not want to miss. But before doing that, welcome to the channel. My name is Seth and I cover the stocks and cryptocurrency market. So if you are enjoying the content, make sure to help a brother out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications for your weekly stock market updates and your weekly cryptocurrency market updates. Now, a quick update on my trading challenge where I'm trying to turn $100 into $1,000. My trading account is currently sitting at about $104. So that's about a 4% gain since my last video. And I'm currently holding a long position on Bitcoin with a 10x leverage. And I'm currently up about 10% on this position over here. So things are definitely looking good for this challenge over here. I am using BitGet for this challenge over here. So if you want to check out BitGet, the link is in the description. You could earn up to $3,000 with BitGet. So go check out the link in the description and earn up to $3,000. This is not sponsored. This is just something to help out with the channel. Now, looking at the fear and greed index for the market sentiments, we see some big changes in market sentiments. A month ago, we were in extreme fear over here. So we were in extreme fear a month ago. Then we made our way to fear a week ago. We made our way to fear, and now we are sitting in neutral. So this shows that a lot of people are changing their sentiments on the market. People are becoming less fearful in the market, and people are becoming a little bit more greedy, and they are buying the lows and taking advantage of the lows, right? So people are buying a lot of stocks at the moment. But now let's look at the big players. Let's see how the big players are performing. Let's look at the heat map for the stock market. So bringing up the heat map, we see that some of the big players are doing pretty well. Tesla is up about 4%. Amazon is up about 4%. Apple is up about 2%. Google is up about 3%. Microsoft is up about 1%. Nvidia is also up about 5%. That is one of the AMD's competitors, and AMD itself is up about 13% this past week, right? Across the board, there are a lot of greens in the market, but there are still a little bit of reds, right? We see that the energy sector is seeing a lot of red, but now let's look at AMD, right? Let's look at AMD because there's something big happening in AMD's chart. Now looking at the daily price chart for AMD, we see that AMD's price has been trading in this descending channel pattern for a pretty long time. And this descending channel pattern is usually a bullish pattern. So at some point in the future, I expect AMD's price to break above the resistance line. So this resistance line over here, I expect AMD's price to break above that and push higher, right? We see that at the moment, AMD's price is very close to the resistance line over here, right? So AMD's price currently at around $103 is very close to the resistance line. So if AMD is able to break above this resistance line over here, then I would expect AMD to push higher. And then the price target for that will be, let's see. So let's drag a tool over here. And then when we do the estimation over here, we see that in case AMD breaks above this resistance line, then AMD will be pushing up to about $141, right? So that would be very big for AMD. That would be very good news for AMD. But now let's look at the S&P 500 index to see how likely it is for AMD to push to $141, right? So looking at the S&P 500 index, we see that the S&P 500 index has also been trading in this descending channel pattern. The S&P 500 index has broken above the midline over here, and this is a bullish sign, right? So when the S&P 500 index breaks above the midline, it is usually a bullish sign. So I would expect the S&P 500 index to go touch the resistance line at least, right? So over here, we see that the S&P 500 index has broken above there. So I would expect the S&P 500 index to continue higher until it hits the 0.5 Fibonacci level around 4,283, right? So I would expect the S&P 500 index to maybe pull back a little bit and then push higher to about 4,283 points. And then if the Feds do not come out with bad news, then the S&P 500 index could even continue higher, right? So let's go back to AMD. Let me clean up. And let's go back to AMD. So we know from the S&P 500 index that there's a good chance that the S&P 500 index will continue higher, right? So I believe AMD will also continue higher, and AMD will break out of this pattern over here. AMD will break this resistance line, and AMD will push higher, right? And if that happens, my short-term price target for AMD will be at the 0.382, right? So 0.382, that would be about $111 for AMD price, right? That would be what I would expect. But like I said before, AMD's price could push even higher to about $141, right? Let's look at some technical indicators as well. Let me bring up the RSI. So for the technical indicators, let's start with the RSI, the relative strength index. The relative strength index is currently around 70 points, and this is above the midline, right? The midline is at 50 points. So this shows that AMD is currently overbought, and I would expect a little bit of a pullback for AMD. I would expect a pullback maybe down to about the 62 points area, or probably we could even drop even lower to about 50 points, right? And let's look at the chart and let's use the VPVR to guess what price it will probably end up at. So in case we pull back, we will probably hit about $98 or $97. And in case we pull back even more, then we could probably go hit about $92, right? Before continuing higher. That is if the Feds do not crash the market, right? But now let's look at some momentum indicators as well. So looking at the momentum indicator in the MACD, we see that the MACD line over here is above the signal line. So things are definitely looking bullish for AMD. There's a lot of buy momentum for AMD at the moment, but we see that this is overextended, right? The MACD line over here, this MACD line is overextended. So I would expect a little bit of a return back down to the midpoint, and then before we continue higher, right? Let's look at the momentum, the squeeze momentum indicator as well. So bringing up the squeeze momentum indicator, we see that this is also showing that, or this is also confirming that there's a lot of buy momentum at the moment for AMD. A lot of people are buying AMD shares at the moment, but I would expect a little bit of a reversal very soon. So a reversal before maybe continuing even higher for AMD. So there is no doubt that AMD is looking bullish, and if AMD's price is able to break above $104 or $105, then the price for AMD could continue even higher to about $111 or probably $113, where I believe AMD will get a little bit of a pullback because between $111 and $113, there's a good amount of resistance around that area. So I would expect AMD to pull back in case we break above 104 points, right? But for this upcoming week, I expect AMD's price to pull back a little bit because, as we saw from the technical indicators, AMD's price is AMD is overbought at the moment. So I would expect price to pull back to about $97 or probably to $92 before the price continues higher, right? That is if the Feds do not crash the market with interest rate hikes, right? But now that is it. Make sure to help a brother out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications for your weekly stock market updates and your weekly cryptocurrency market updates.